Are you guys looking to build a two-channel system with an upgrade path to Dolby Atmos? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hey folks, I'm Gene Delasalo with Audioholics. So our recommended system section of audioholics.com has always been a very popular section of the site, and it's the one that I like the least because it obsoletes so quickly. And you guys are always asking us to put new systems in there at various price points. Now, a full disclosure, I am putting this as a sponsored video because we are going to be linking up to our channel partner, Dream Media, which is where you could purchase all the equipment in this guide. I wanted to put together a system that was around $3,500. That's a really good base for a two-channel system with a subwoofer, and then give you guys an upgrade path to Dolby Atmos if you ever want to add, multi-channel for whether it's spatial audio music or just watching movies or a combination of both. So in this guide that we published, we'll have all the equipment broken down with links to Dream Media. And we do appreciate if you use those links. It supports the channel. We get a small commission off of it. But I want to go over the logic of this system. And if this is a popular video and you guys give me some comments down below on other systems you'd like to see us put together for you, I'd be happy to expand this into different budgets and different applications. It is kind of fun to put these systems together. So without further ado, if you go on the Audioholics homepage right now, you will see the article that I'm sharing with you here. And this is the crux of the situation here. We've got a Marantz receiver, some focal speakers, SVS subwoofer, some non-snake oil cables and connections to get everything going. But I want to go over the logic of why we chose each component. So we're going to start with the Focal Thiva number ones. And these are their kind of mid-price or entry-level bookshelf speakers. Now, Focal makes really expensive stuff, but they also make really good budget stuff. And at $1,000 a pair, these are really darn good bookshelf speakers. James Larson gave a very favorable review on these speakers, and we actually did a live stream showing you what you get when you spend more money on bookshelf speakers, the quality levels it goes up with price when you're dealing with legitimately well-engineered product like this. And I do encourage you guys to watch it. I'll put a link in the cards. So the advantages of this speaker is overall it has good balanced tonality, good dynamic range for its class. It's a pretty much an easy load for a receiver to drive, which is why we paired it with the Marantz receiver. Above average sensitivity. And then just some cons, you just have low angle suffers on vertical axis. You got to read the notes just to know that you should sit within the tweeter axis to get the best sound out of the speaker. But overall, it's a very attractive speaker, I think. Focal always makes beautiful speakers, but it's not just about the looks. It's actually got good performance. And I'll show you the measurements real quick. And like I said, we did a full video talking about this speaker that you guys could check out. But you can see here, the measurements here is a very linear response. It's got a good listening window response, so you don't need any really special room treatments in there. As long as you have a decent room, the speaker should perform consistently from room to room. And if you want to add some EQ to it, it should do well there. A little tiny rise in treble at the very high frequencies, which isn't such a bad thing as you get older in age and your sensitivity goes down in hearing. But overall, we were really pleased with the on and off axis behavior of the speaker. As I said, the impedance of it is very benign. You can see here the saddle points. It's tuned at around 50 hertz. It doesn't drop below 5 ohms. Usable bass extension down to about 50 hertz. And this is why we do recommend pairing it with a subwoofer. You do get good sound out of these speakers even without a sub. But if you're a bass head like me, you definitely want to have a good, tight, fast musical sub to pair this with. And by the way, it does have reasonably high sensitivity, almost 90 dB, about 88.5, 2.83 volts, 1 meter, which means it'll play relatively loud with low power. Great little speaker. And if you ever do decide to stay in the Focal brand and you want to upgrade this to a 5.1 or 5.1.2 system, these could always be used as a pair of surround speakers in a future upgrade. So definitely recommend the speaker in this price class. Rear ported, so you do want to keep that in mind. You don't want to put it too close to the wall, at least a few inches off, preferably a couple of feet. Now to round out the bass, we do recommend at least a subwoofer like the SVS SB2000. It's one of the best subwoofers you can get for its size and price class. And it's a sealed sub, so it's very tight, very musical. We did a full review on this subwoofer. It meets our medium-sized Bassaholic room size rating, so it should get you pretty good output for medium-sized rooms, which is what this system is designed for. This system is not designed for a large theater. It's designed for, you know, a small family room, den, bedroom, that kind of thing. You'll get plenty of output between the speakers and the subwoofer. These are well matched as a system together. And then I really like the Marantz Cinema 70S. They also have a 2-channel version of this AVR, but I recommend just going with the Cinema version because it has pretty much very similar performance to their stereo receiver. But now you've got HDMI, which you've got HDMI in the 2-channel receiver as well, but you have the ability to add up to 7 channels of speakers. And it has 7 internal amplifiers, 50 watts a channel. Now, the 50 watts a channel is conservatively rated with 2 channels driven. Marantz gives you that 70% guarantee, where it'll deliver at least 70% power with 5 channels driven. We've actually measured up to 7 channels driven with the 70% guarantee. So that means you'll get an honest 35 watts a channel, pretty much with all channels driven, which again, is in a small to medium-sized room, that should be sufficient. And if it's not sufficient, what I like about this slimline receiver, it has preamp outputs. So you could always go add a 2-channel amplifier if you want to, you know, boost your front sound stage. If you decide to go with a pair of towers in the future, you have that ability. And I like the form factor of this AVR. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It looks sleek. It looks great. All of the Marantz newer Cinema Series stuff just looks beautiful in person. It doesn't look like the typical, you know, black box AVR. Now, these are optional. If you need stands, Focal makes the Thiva stands. Personally, I think they're fine, but I do like having stands that that you can mass load, and that ones that can couple, you know, really well with the speaker. Just be careful when you're dealing with a bookshelf speaker if you have kids or animals, and that might actually persuade you to go to a tower version of the speaker, which are also pretty affordable in this line. Now, of course, you're going to need some cables to set up. So we like the SVS SoundPath Ultra speaker cable. It's non-snake oil, $44 each, 12 gauge. This should be more than sufficient for your needs. And then we have some SVS HDMI cables, as well as just a generic receptacle, so you can plug all of your stuff into one protection device box, and it's just convenient. You could turn it on and off. It's got USB on it. So this whole system comes to about $3,500. And like I said, it gives you upgrade pads. So if you want to go down the road and get the Thiva #2 towers, you could certainly do that. And they're very reasonably priced. They're $900 each. These will definitely give you more output than the bookshelf speaker, more extension, higher sensitivity. It just will give you more sound, basically, for your system if you want to just play things a little bit louder, and then put those bookshelf speakers, the Thiva #1s, towards the surround channels. So overall, this is a really nice entry-level 2-channel, a legitimately good 2-channel system. You should get really good performance out of this if you do proper setup. You get the bass management right. If you're going to buy it with the SVS sub, I definitely recommend you bass manage the speakers, cross them over 50, 60 hertz, maybe even up to 80 hertz, really depending on your application. And then consider down the road adding the center channel, the surround speakers. Then you could add a pair of high channels, and you can get into spatial audio. I love spatial audio on Apple Music. It's a really fun experience. And if you want to watch movies, of course, you have that ability as well. And even if you don't want to upgrade beyond 2.1, this system is far better than getting a sound bar for your TV. You'll get really good music performance, and you'll get a very engaging experience just watching movies in 2.1. Really good system like that brings a lot of detail out in movies, especially the music soundtracks in it. So anyways, guys, I hope you found this video useful. Give me a thumb up. Give me some comments down below of what kind of systems you'd like us to recommend and put together. Again, we appreciate the support you give us on this channel by using our affiliate links. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to me if you want to suggest video topics. And until next time, my friends, keep listening.